Black queens forever.
Snow bunnies never.
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 Black queens forever.
Snow bunnies.
Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never. Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never.
Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the house of David, which is the elect. And what you just see here, as it says, this new Google VO3 video generation is scary. Okay, and basically what this, is a AI, it's an AI prompt, right? Which, to not get into, too technical of the matter, but basically this new AI has the ability to create, what you see here, which would look like a actual setting, right? This looks like, something that actually took place in New York City. Okay, because the individuals, right, or shall I say the AI here, it looks real to the point where they don't have any distinguishing factors that you can tell that it's actually AI, right? This could very well deceive the minds of the simple for somebody to say like, oh, why is this guy standing up here, in this soapbox, right, wearing a dashiki with a beard and screaming out Black Queens Forever, with a whole bunch of Edomites also screaming out Snow Bunnies Never, right? And this is a part of the deception, right? The sorcery, right? The deceivableness that this devil is bringing out with this whole AI system that they're setting up. And, me and brothers, we were talking about how, this is, and other brothers, elders, apostles have made mention of it as well, that, we see Esau using this AI technology, right? And as it continues to grow exponentially, right, becoming more and more indistinguishable from reality, Esau using this to, slander the men of the Lord, right? As the scripture says, that the accuser of our brethren, right, and the accusations that this devil, is making will be false narratives, right, lies, right, which is the power that he comes in, right, the all deceivableness, the lying wonders, right. Actually, let me pull that up. But as we're as we're seeing, this is becoming more and more realistic. Okay, and the spirit of discernment is going to be, needed, right, and even heightened as we get closer and closer, to the end, and closer and closer to this devil making this move against the gospel, the truth. So when you read this here in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9, it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, right? In the GNT, it says the wicked one will come with power will come with the power of Satan and perform all kinds of false miracles and wonders, and use, so verse 10, and use every kind of wicked deceit on those who perish. They will perish because they did not welcome and love the truth so as to be saved, right? And that in a KJV, just to read, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they've received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. See, so this devil, through his technology, right, the perversion of his knowledge and wisdom, he's using these things, not for he's not using AI, to forward and better humanity, right? He's using it ultimately for a wicked work, right? For deception. Okay. And what is the main thing he's going to weaponize it for? To come against the actual truth. See? Because, the Lord has it to where we are out on the highways and byways, right? But the main driver of this gospel is the internet, right? Which was prophecy that, the gospel was going to go throughout the four corners of the earth. Psalms I think it's the 19th chapter, speaks about their line goes out day and night. And that is speaking about, being on the internet, right? Online. So a lot of people know the truth about Israel is because of the internet. So they've seen videos. And now what this devil is using and doing is, because this right here, I don't know who did it, right? I don't know who made it, but it is clearly shown, right? To you can see similarities of the the men that's out there on the highways and byways, right? Now, of course, we don't use a soapbox, but back in the day, right? Maybe during the time of the elder Abba Bivens' time, and maybe a little bit even after that, you did have people that would go preach out on the corners, and they would stand on soapbox, right? They showed you that even in the movie Malcolm X, right? Because you had the Islamics, right? The Nation of Islam, they used to do it, right? I'm not too sure. I don't think the old school, I don't think they use soapbox. I could be wrong, but regardless, you see he's wearing I think this would be called a daishiki, right? But that could be likened unto a garment, right? He got a beard, right? And he's out on the street speaking about Black Queens Forever, which, that ain't something that you're going to hear from the true man of the Lord. But the whole point is it looks real, right? It looks actual, like this is an actual event that took place. And if you are not, and this just came out, right? This is, still fairly new technology. So the more they continue to, fine tune it, the more they continue to update their systems, and able to make it look more and more and realistic. A lot of people are going to just clearly just think, and they can just even make more realistic scenarios, right? Instead of just having a whole bunch of, Edomite women around, this guy here, they can make it a more realistic scenario to where when somebody scrolls by a TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, right? They'll think, oh, this is just another crazy, Hebrew Israelite. See? So, and it's interesting now because you have a lot of these wicked, false prophets that are coming out here that are speaking wayward doctrine, right? You have a lot of people that are coming up against the truth of the Bible. Okay, a lot of naysayers and mockers, but then you still got Esau with his devilish ass, right? Him being an enemy. All he has to do is just push out videos like this, and like I said, make them look more realistic, and you'll have simple and have this guy, instead of saying something like completely outrageous like what he's saying here, have them say stuff that sounds a little bit more on tune with the Hebrew Israelites, but bring in some damnable heresies, bring in some false teachings. And then that right there would be used as a reason to, continue to demonize the truth. And then, as we always said, the fact that they have the deep seek, right, or should I say the deep fake technology, where they could now use your own face, right, use your voice, and have it to where it makes you appear that you're actually doing something, but really it's, AI programming. And then that be something that has people deceived to thinking that, oh, you actually did this. Okay, that's why the scripture speaks about you're going to have friends betray each other, parents betray each other. Now that could be for multiple reasons, right? I'm not only saying this is the only way that happens, but them being, not having discernment, and Esau using this technology to fake some type of event or fake things being said that wasn't said by us, and make it seem like we said something, or just have some random, because like a lot of these AIs, this video, these people are not real people, right? There's no actual individual that this person is, but what they do is the AI just basically scrapes all of the internet, right? All of the internet. I'm trying to put it into simple forms, the best way I can. They scrape all of the internet of all of the pictures of actual real people, right? And then they amalgamate it into what they, create as a person. So this person that's standing up there isn't an actual real person. It's just millions of pictures of real people that are, on the internet that they take, and then they just create this person. And same thing for everybody else in this video. These aren't real people. They're just a conglomerate of various different images on the internet of people that they created. Okay, so somebody would say like, oh yeah, I seen this guy talking on the internet, and he was saying, black queens forever, snow bunnies never. You see? And then he was like, oh yeah, I seen other guys like that, just the other day, they was also, wearing something similar to this. It didn't look just like that, but they had beards and they had some, type of garment on, and, maybe they're part of the same group, or maybe they have the same belief. See? And then all of a sudden, Esau creates a video of this guy doing something crazy, right? And although it's fake, and we always talk about false FLAGs, but now you got it to where, you could just do a false FLAG on the internet, and it'll go viral, and people would think, oh yeah, this is real. So, let me get this here in Matthew 10, verse 21. It says, and the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right? So there's going to be a time where, certain brothers, right, and sisters are going to be betrayed by their, so-called family members, right? People, that they thought, that they've had, lifelong friendships with, that they're going to betray you, right? Because of the narrative that is being spoken about against the ones who believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? That believe in Yahweh Shai in that name. Because going back to that video, only thing Esau got to do now, because remember, these prompts are scripted, right? All this is scripted. So now not only can they script actual, the movements of people, they can actually script what they're saying as well. So all they have to do is just script, use this name, use that, and, use the names of the Lord, say Esau, say X, Y, and Z, and then have them do something crazy. And then people being simple-minded, believe in the delusion, going back to 2 Thessalonians verse 11, it says, and for this cause, the Most High shall send them a strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. All right, so this is, one of the ways that, the unbelievers will fall into this trap, fall into this delusion, okay, of this lying wonder that Esau is using with this technology, where people, start to believe what he is saying. So, should not say start to believe what he's saying, but the the false miracles that he's doing and believing these things as being real, to the point where they become enemies of the gospel because of some false narrative that they have seen, right, or heard, okay, through this AI deepfake, VO, technology, which that's just Google, but these other companies, they're going to be following right behind them, okay. So this is why also when you read here in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, it says, "For there shall arise false anointeds and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders." Now, cannot Esau use this technology to do that as well? Right? We always spoke about Project Bluebeam, and they're talking about how this AI technology is far superior to what the technology of the Project Bluebeam, false, the holograms and all these things. They're saying that the AI looks way more realer and is more advanced than that Project Bluebeam. So that's why it says there shall arise false anointeds and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders. And that can be done, right, through Esau using, left-handed sorcery, right? Or right, this AI technology, having something happen on the internet, using this technology, making it seem like, oh, they did something great in Jesus' name, right, in some false name, okay, and there a lot of people believe that those are true men of the Lord. You see, and that can happen in so many different ways as well. So that's why it says, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So it's going to look so believable that the elect, if it were possible, would be deceived by it, right? It says, "For false messiahs and false prophets will appear. They will perform great miracles." Now, these miracles are pseudo miracles, right? They're not, because the true miracles only can be done by the true men of the Lord, right? Using the true name Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So anything else that takes place is false, right? They're lying wonders, pseudo miracles, right? And that's why reading on, it says, where were we? They will perform great miracles and wonders in order to deceive even God's chosen people, if possible, right? Which is the elect. Okay. And that's why, as I said in the beginning, the spirit of discernment has to be heightened in this time, not to be falling for this, AI deception. Okay. And this is only just the beginning of it. So as time progresses, the weeks, the days and weeks and months progress, this is only going to come more real and realistic. And this devil is going to be using it for more sinister plans as well. Okay. And those plans is ultimately to come up against the gospel, the ministry of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and those that believe in it. So, stay spiritually minded, right? Yahushai, spoke about not believing if somebody says, oh, there's the Messiah is there or he's over here. Understand what the Lord told us, right? He said that he told us all these things before they happen, so that when they do, let me see if I can get that. John 16:4. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you. Right. So the Lord already forewarned us that these things were going to take place, right? A time like never before. Okay. False miracles that if it were possible, they'll be able to deceive the elect, seducing spirits, right? All these things, the strong delusion, all these things we have been forewarned about. So when it happens, hey, you keep your eye focused on what the truth is, and that is what the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai says. Okay, that is what our focus is. Understanding also prophecy is important as well, because when you understand the prophecy, then you understand what is going to, happen, what is going to take place. So, to not be deceived and caught up in the snare that this devil is, attempting to cast on the whole entire earth, right? That covering cast, that trap. All right. So, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch on that. You see what time we in. So, stay diligent, stay watching, right? And stay in the spirit, man. So, with that, call Lawyer How Bashim El Shai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.